believe we are live.
Sorry, in a second. Oh, oh. Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that was a lot of technical bullshit.
What a fantastically huge amount of technical crap. I'll never try anything new again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
teaches
right. I can
that
buy
that'll
shit.
teach you to spurn tradition. I mean, if society does collapse and fall into like techno feudalism, there'll definitely be computer mystics because of this bullshit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lemon power, poison defender. Nah. All right. I don't think we left off when I was down there. I was just turning in the last mission.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think I got something for it.
Mm-hmm.
Metal, some kind of metal.
So I was, I was realizing, uh, you know, our streams lack a lot of jokes, right? Where
That's because we're not funny.
I mean that is true,
Uh-huh.
but it's a lot of political bullshit.
Yeah.
Uh, so I looked up an old English joke book for jokes.
Oh, good. That'll be successful.
So for so forgive if right, this isn't proper old English, but it is like, I believe like 18th century, um, 18th or like early 19th century.
Mhm.
So forgive me if I stumble a little bit. Uh, so here's the first one. The Duke of who says more good things than anybody behind the scenes in the first night of the Beggar's Opera, and me eating kibber here. Well, Olaf, said he, how do you like the Beggar's Opera? Why, it makes one laugh, my lord, answered he, on the on the stage. But how will it do in print? Oh, very well. I'll answer for it, said the Duke. If you don't write a preface to it.
I don't get it.
it See, he says, like, it'll do
So,
very well, but if you don't write a preface for it.
as long as the Duke doesn't write a preface for it, suggesting that the Duke is a bad writer.
No, no, the Duke is
Am
saying
I
that to
getting
the
that?
other guy, who's named two different
Oh,
things.
I got it. I understand. Um, cool.
It's so funny.
I guess it was funny to people 200 years ago.
All
Then
right.
again, so is a lot of stupid crap.
So here's another joke.
Okay.
And Hackney coachman, who just set up, had heard that at the lawyers used the club there every pence a piece, four of them, to go to Westminster, and being called by a lawyer at Temple Bar, who, with two others in their gowns, got into his coach. He was bid to drive to Westminster Hall, but the coachman still holding the door open as if he waited for more company. One of the gentlemen asked him why he did not shut the door and go on. The fellow, scratching his head, cried, "You know, master, my fare's a shilling. I can't go for 9 pence."
Yeah. And I have to see it written out. Oh, God. Trip the flag.
These jokes are just fire, am I right?
Oh, they're fucking ablaze with terrible humor. Alright, let's see what mess I can make of this crap. Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I could.
Like, no, our humor on this show, do we call it a show, is essentially inside jokes and weird abstract bullshit that only we think is funny.
Yeah. Also, I think your ice drill power does more damage than the
Yeah.
bee fall.
Okay.
Also, I looked up how somebody else defeated the boss. So
Frozen drill.
yeah, I believe frozen drill does more damage overall.
Okay. Try it. Worst case scenario, just try it again. Oh, there, it does work. I don't know why I thought it didn't work. Whatever. Oh, I need to. Not that. Tank. Cool. So that did 12 damage. So you know what? I'm gonna put him in. Red 2. Frozen drill again. 12 damage. Okay. We can do that 4 more times. I guess I'll win.
Probably want to start healing.
Oh, right. I forgot to make more of those things. Oh, well. It's fine.
Probably got enough.
Wait, I made... Yeah, we'll do it anyway. Nobody... Oh, yeah.
Needs.
God damn it. Grab it, and then leave. I kind of wish the things at the top would change along with my positioning, so I wouldn't get them mixed up, but it's fine. It's whatever.
You can continue healing Leaf.
Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking if I could pull the shield, but I don't think I'm going to need to. Hmm. Okay. Shit. Hmm. Because Kabu's technically down the most. But nobody else. Who can revive? Somebody can revive.
I believe that's V.
Hold on. Yeah. See what's stats. Was it V? Well, whatever. Let's give it to Kabu anyway. Ultimax still sounds like a DDR version. Right. Oh, got it. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Um, yeah, all right. I know how to get more. Wow,
That was a lot easier.
that was way easier. I was making a big deal about it last time. Huh. Okay, just do that earlier next time. Oh, she's the Wasp Kingdom Queen, I think. Who's Bianca? I don't remember. No, wait, was Bianca the queen of the termites?
You've been paying way more attention to this than I have, so
I don't know people's names. No bugs. Oh yeah, that's right, the Giant Slayer.
yes.
Cool.
We must rally together to take on this impossible challenge. Anyway, good luck with doing that.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna do it, huh? There. I didn't know if the idol girl was there. Um, save, 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 save. Oh, nice. How did they get a? I didn't think there was any room for one. Did they replace something?
I guess you're just wrong.
Maybe I was just wrong.
Anyway, you might want to talk to the people on the bridge in case there's any like cool new vendors or
On the, in the what? In the bridge?
yeah, where you just came from.
I was. Oh yeah, and I was just gonna go get some free healing
Oh yeah.
by sleeping in the house I own. Because only in video games can anybody afford a house anymore.
Social commentary.
Well,
Um,
it's like, see, you know the game House Flipper? It's
uh,
like,
I
that's how I,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
the fact that popularly, like, would happily do that kind of work, you know, if it paid. Now, granted, there's a difference between doing a lot of physical labor and sitting in a computer chair, but still,
I mean,
there's at least some percentage of people.
house flipping is a lot more difficult and tainted with risk than some people would like to tell you.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole interesting part of that game is the renovation mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, I think people would get a lot of satisfaction from doing stuff like that. Oh, there's the guy. Hold on. This is. Is it? No, that is. Hold on. This guy was in the other room before, and now he's here. And now, is there anybody in here? Oh. Ooh.
Ooh, money.
Hold on. I don't know if this was accessible before. Yeah, Crystal Berry I'm not going to spend.
Yeah. So, yeah, I told you about how somebody asked me if I thought if there was any value to French modern philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
The answer is, I really don't think so.
I mean, I don't even know what they mean. What is like a modern French philosophical insight that I may, in theory, take value from?
Well, like simulacrum and postmodernity
Oh,
um, and hermeneutics and interpretive frameworks.
like postmodernism is one of those words I mean it, and
Well, I mean, it
there's
sort of.
no like narrative. Yeah.
I mean, so you're. Sorry, you've been breaking up for me a little bit every now and again, but
Oh,
so like there's the basic idea of right. So to my understanding, right, postmodernism comes out of this like critique of this idea, both the invention of the idea of and the subsequent critique of notions of grand narratives.
right.
Um, which is funny because the critique is also itself a grand narrative.
Well, A, yes. A, B, was it Frederick Jameson calls it postmodernism the cultural logic of late capitalism or something like that?
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, so if there is no grand narrative of like we are heading like if you want to talk about like a grand narrative to history in the notion of some kind of mythical progress, sure. But societies can and perhaps ought to generate grand narratives of their own, provided they're to make um, because that's there is no alternative thing. Like, well, there are alternatives, but if our cultural logic doesn't allow us to conceive of them, then it doesn't matter whether they're alternatives or not. Um, and so this, oh, postmodernism, it's just the logic of late stage capitalism, right? Like, if you
yeah,
don't have a grand social narrative, you might as well stop. There's nothing to
yeah.
do.
I mean, we're done here, boys.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like what even at that point is the point of capitalism?
to continue to exist.
Right.
Uh,
It, I don't want to talk to her. Cool.
all right, so you're probably gonna want to go stock up on some items and
Yeah, I'm gonna do that whole loop of I forget what oh far before
yeah,
where I
and
get the cooked items.
yes, and like I've been told, oh, like well, the French philosophy makes much more sense if you read in the original, right? One if you read in the original French, and also that, well, also that French is a very complex and nuanced language, and you can't really translate the ideas to English effectively. And I
Though they
just
don't refer it's yeah.
Well,
Go on.
firstly, everybody fucking says this. French is a very complex and nuanced language, right?
No, it's drunk Latin.
Everybody fucking says that about their language, right? It's like, oh,
Right.
it's very whatever. Nobody says, right? My language is like fucking simple and has no is simple and blunt, has no nuance or elegance to it
Right.
whatsoever, right? Like, that's just not how these things go. Um, so firstly that, secondly, like the the French philosophical modern French philosophical tradition seems to purposely eschew clarity in their writing as an important like value of how to present arguments.
Yep.
Which, like, okay, if we're dealing with like I understand like the like obviously right there's a you can always run into the problem of irreducible complexity, right?
Hmm.
If you want to explain like how aerosols destroy the ozone layer or used to because of various chemical reactions, right? There's a certain level of irreducible complexity to the truth, right?
Right. You at least have to be able to conceive of, particle interactions of the upper atmosphere.
Yeah. Uh, so there so so it's valid for a true argument to potentially be very very esoteric or complex depending on what it's
But
pertaining to.
at the very least, there are other arguments that lead into that argument that you can use to understand what's going on in principle.
Yeah, yeah, you can use circumlocution like that to sort of get at the idea
I,
of whatever you're talking about. So I don't
well, I
really
mean, yeah,
so I don't really see the value in making things more complex than they are in a work that is supposed to not be like I could potentially see it as valuable in like a work of fiction where like perhaps like enjoying the prose is part of the experience.
oh yeah, yeah. Like one of my favorite series, the Jean Le Flambeau series. It's intentionally extremely high concept in terms of like the technology they're talking about, and he never hardly explains anything to you. You have to read it like 4 times to understand what's going on, and that's part of it. Is this feeling of being in this universe where everything makes sense to people who are operating way over your level.
Yeah,
So
but in a work of nonfiction, right, when we're trying to explain some aspect of reality, right, there's no value in making it more complex than strictly necessary.
there's no value to be more complicated than necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. So that and also like all of the I don't know. I see you see it sort of reproduced actually in like fucking like bread tubers and like YouTube video SES, who act as though fiction is a meaningful framework into how reality works, like interpreting fiction, like
Yeah, you do see that a lot.
where it's like, hey, let's talk about this, movie, TV show, video game, or whatever, right? And then, this, and this you and this work, really says a lot about society and like capitalism or whatever. And it's like, no, it really doesn't actually, right? This is a big tail wagging the dog moment, right?
Yeah,
Where,
exactly. That's you interpreting it, right? Like people 300 years ago might have interpreted it differently.
well, yeah, I mean, that's also part of the problem with sort of art.
Well, you're bringing capitalism into it by interpreting it, and uh, I think you can figure out what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at here.
Well, works of art have indeterminate meanings, right?
Yes,
In fact, most sentences have indeterminate meanings
yes.
because total semantic unambiguity is basically impossible.
Colorless green ideas sleep furiously.
Yeah. Uh, you can make things grammatically, you know, clear, phonetically clear, and unambiguous, right? And there's lots of ways you can disambiguate natural language, but but semantic content isn't one of those.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the with like undecidability and whatever in incompleteness in mathematics.
It might be somehow tangentially related to each other, right? But I mean,
That'd be kind of cool.
it basically comes down to the fact that we don't know the full set of semantically sensible statements. So there's no way to precondition the structure of our language such that it can only make semantically sensible statements.
Right.
Um, so, given that art is generally involves some aspect of communication, and we know that communication necessarily has irreducible semantic ambiguity to it, right? That means, in principle, you can interpret you can interpret the semantic content of any piece of communication to mean any old thing, depending on which linguistic interpretive framework you use, whether or not it's actually appropriate or not, or useful, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, to suggest that, for example, the French language is describing something which cannot fundamentally be expressed, at least in principle, in some other language, suggests that the French are literally looking at a different version of the universe than we are, which I likely.
I mean, admittedly, there are certain points where you can run into serious linguistic barriers to translations, right? Where, or like,
Sure.
I remember, right? There's some story of attempting to translate the Communist Manifesto into some African language that didn't
Hmm.
have a word for that didn't even have a cultural concept of a ghost, which makes
Yeah,
which makes a specters haunting Europe a kind of difficult idea to convey.
sure. Yeah. Um, I remember trying to learn kanji, and what it reminded, figuring out what something says in kanji is a matter of understanding broadly what the kanji represents and kind of understanding how it happens to be used in practice. But if you wanted to like look up what are all the possible meanings of a particular kanji, they're just incredibly diverse. And, I don't think there is a set number of meanings. If you've ever read the His Dark Materials series, um, the main gets spiritual grace and stuff like that. She gets a tool called an alethiometer, which is a machine that tells the truth. Um, and the way it works, it's basically a compass, hence the golden compass, with needles, or arrows that point to different symbols. And depending on which symbol comes first and which symbol, how many times the arrow lands on the symbol and all that kind of stuff, you can get, theoretically infinite layers of meaning. And that's how I felt trying to study kanji. Is yes, there's a huge complexity here, and I'm just going to have to start memorizing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But even then, I mean, if I go to Japan and I order a sandwich, they're going to hand me a sandwich. That's not just because the Japanese word for sandwich is sanduichi. Where is it? Did I just not... Just forget to buy one? Oh, no, I'm full.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, yeah, and I just don't really. It's like there's a huge emphasis on obfuscationism, a lack of concern for, you know, is this a real thing even? Sort of questions. Which is admittedly
Yeah.
a surprisingly common problem you run into in at least social sciences. I don't know about harder sciences, right? Where, or like, so like in political science, right? Like one of the easiest questions you can ask of someone coming up with like some new theory of how like political actors interact with each other or whatever, right? Is can you think of this? Can you think of a historical example of this actually happening?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the times in the hard sciences, for example, when they were trying to figure out the existence of the neutrino,
Mm-hmm.
they were doing, science progresses at the backs of ever more refined tools, and so they found a tool that more measure the sun or something, and they found out that when they accounted for the particles they knew were there, there was energy left over, and they were like, "Oh crap! What if our understanding of physics is just fundamentally wrong?" And then somebody else was like, "Maybe there's another particle there that we're not seeing," and then that's when the neutrino came from, something like that. So, theory, thinking, especially modern times, thinking tends to precede knowing in physics, and I don't know about other kinds of hard sciences, but certainly in physics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wonder how much of, I mean, you kind of see this in the modern left, the historical failure of capitalism to be overthrown. Um, Instead of going, well, maybe just it isn't the right time to do it, which is an option at least, even if you disagree with it. A lot of people go, well, maybe maybe Marx was wrong, and there isn't a historicity here, and there isn't like a material basis for the progression of history the way Marx says it was. And so, draw material and just focus on the abstract, well, then of course you get into just total nonsense spooling off in all directions because there's no material reality to constrain your analysis. So I wonder if it's basically just widespread academic disappointment.
Um, Admittedly, I think there's also, right, like, as I sort of made a joke of, right, I think philosophy often is a sort of, when it's good, right, it's a high level meta language, right?
Right.
Uh, but when it's a bad, right, it's a meta language that doesn't have an original referent point.
It's a good way of thinking about it.
And if at some point, right, you're right, if your reference point is simply right, if it doesn't like eventually somewhere down the line plow into the kingdom of reality, right?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are you doing? uh,
There's Douglas Hawes investigated it in any depth. I just read a little bit about the Wikipedia article. I think it's called strange loops, and they're loops that like they appear to progress linear. They're sequences that appear to progress linearly, but eventually do loop back on themselves, kind of like a screw, I guess.
yeah.
Um, and I guess his idea is that that's how consciousness works. I don't know, but there does seem to be this idea floating around that you can have things which refer only to ultimately themselves. And okay, yes, the universe can be thought of as a closed loop, right? But there's clearly a distinction between things in our mind and things in the real world, even if the real
Yeah.
world doesn't look the way we think it does.
Right. So, I mean, at the very least, right, the world has to be somewhere in that loop, right?
Right, exactly. That's a good way to think about it.
Right.
Yeah. Pump you up. Ooh. I want to say, my brain goes, it's brooch. It's like, no, brooch somehow.
You see, English is a very complex and nuanced language.
It is, but it is. I mean, that's the way you would probably pronounce it in Japanese because the sequence of vowels, right? Burochi,
Yeah.
or something like that. But
Yeah. So, and frankly, right, like a century of the French doing postmodernism, existentialism, etc., right, has basically resulted in, as far as I can tell, no substantive increase to our understanding of the universe. And especially as like Marxist, right, like literally no progression in Marxist theory.
yeah,
But some assholes, applied, fucking a model of gaseous particles to monetary exchanges, and they fucking founded a whole subfield of economics from it,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Economic physics, right? So
I have that book, Farjan, and I forget
Farjorn
the other
and
person.
Lockover,
Yeah, that sounds right. I
maybe
have
it's
a copy of
Farjorn,
that.
but it's
I
spelled
don't know.
Farjorn.
Um, yeah, I have a digital copy, and I'd love to get my hands on a paperback copy, but I don't think Verso sells them, or at least didn't when I was looking for them. But
I mean, I have a paperback copy from
oh, okay, maybe they were just out of stock.
yeah, they may
I'll check it again. Just because it's hard for me to understand math when I'm reading it off of a screen.
yeah. Uh, yeah. So clearly not, and so just European philosophy, man, or specifically French and its influences. Also they really love. Also, like Freudianism is still, and psychoanalysis is still like a really big thing in France, which is, and it's apparently it's for reasons of nationalism, actually.
Obviously, you have to say that again. You dropped out.
Yeah, sorry about that. Um,
I don't think it's your fault,
yeah.
so it's fine.
Uh, so in France, psychoanalysis and Freudianism is still really popular. And I believe, to my understanding, it is for reasons of nationalism. Did you get that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, to the extent, I mean, we've talked about
Yeah.
our
Our
questions about.
yeah, but even in that realm, like psychoanalysis is so clearly bullshit. Like,
Oh yeah, well, it's like even this field, which we find to be, scientifically perhaps not the best it could be, has said that it's bullshit, and that means it's probably bullshit.
I mean, it's pretty bullshit just off of a like off the cuff sense,
Right.
right? like it's very clearly generalizing the particular psychoses of the Victorian middle and upper classes to and very specific individuals within those uh, demographic groups to
Hmm.
being universal truths about the human condition based on like no evidence whatsoever.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if this is actually how it's actually true, but the classic example of I guess selection bias is, Freud has a number of clients who are prostitutes. They are all miserable, and so he concludes that prostitution makes you miserable. Well, it might make you miserable, but you can't conclude that from the data that he has. Because of course they're miserable. They went to a psychiatrist. If they
Yeah,
were happy, they wouldn't be going to a psychiatrist.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Lots of healthy people don't go to doctors.
right.
If you're feeling great and fine, you're probably just going to go for your general checkup, if that, in America.
I mean, maybe we should have, yearly meetups with our psychiatrists, but no. So,
Yeah.
Deadland. I wish I could do an Edwin voice, like the Mad Hatter from the animated Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why. It's just I love it when people apply that voice to various characters, and I would love to be able to do it. And the reason I bring that up is because in my head I give this Blood of Venus the Edwin voice.
I mean, if you really want to become a voice actor, you need to perfect the anime protagonist voice.
God. So I just have to be as whiny and uninteresting as possible.
And, like, really wooden in your delivery.
I've been watching Cowboy Bebop again recently because feel the need for good content, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and because I haven't watched any anime this season. I don't know if any of them are good. I just haven't. I'm waiting for the bowling anime to come out. And I've been watching Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, it's very clearly un-English dub, just because the rhythm of Japanese and the rhythm of English are different. But God, when it's good, it's so good.
Yeah, it's it's real fucking good. It's a real fucking good show.
Uh,
Also, speaking of media, apparently
uh
California has lost $5 billion from their economy over the writers and actors strike.
Good.
Lose more.
Yeah, more. Screw you. Fuck off.
I personally hope this either results in a blanket win of the Writers Guild or just mutual ruination of the entire industry.
Yeah. Um, was it? Did I read today like David Fincher, the guy who directed Fight Club, the movie version of Fight Club, was saying like, well, I think both sides have a point. Nope, no, they don't.
No,
No, like I mean, if ever that was true, it's not true here.
no. Uh,
One side is like, well, we want you to stop doing shitty practices that mean you don't have to pay us because you don't have any profit margins. And the other side is, let's wait on our pile of gigantic riches until regular people start losing their homes. And I think you just need to look at what Ron Perlman has to say about that.
I mean, this is you can't both sides this shit, right? It's
No,
the 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 fucking right. Hollywood makes so much fucking money, right? And they just don't want to fucking pay anybody like a decent living wage, even though they can very easily afford to do so and still make crazy piles of
right.
money.
It
Uh,
doesn't absolutely maximize their profits, so they don't want to do it.
right? They're right. Like this is
Yeah, no. No, no, granted, I didn't read the actual statement he gave. I just read like a headline, and so that's, sort of disingenuous. But
I mean, also like the fact that they've been trying to screw the writers out of like
terrifying.
out of streaming services, out of
Yeah. Like to the point of taking content away within 2 months of when it was released. It's like
and
the idea that Disney, for example, is a content producing and releasing platform that it makes its money by showing movies to people that they like is just straight up not true anymore.
yeah, and going so far as to like eradicate pieces of media off of the face of the earth in order to not pay
Yep.
people royalties.
Yep. Because it slightly increases their fuck you. Come on, do it. It slightly increases their maximum profits on top of already like problem is greed, right? I mean, you don't need greed to explain what we're observing, but there is a point where greed is like, yeah, we're just gonna make it way worse. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, is that a Gamma? Deadlander Gamma? That's cool. Uh, yeah.
So earlier today, I was thinking about the role of. He put you to sleep.
I know.
The role of political factions,
Hmm.
because there's a long history in political philosophy of debating their usefulness, right? And like the greater question of are these things truly useful in a political system? At least like permanent, enduring factions, right? Not temporary factions about particular policy positions.
Hmm.
Uh, so like basically prior to the American Revolution, the answer was pretty resoundingly no. If you have yeah, you shouldn't have political factions, and if you do, that means something's going wrong. And of course, with America and then the rise of sort of liberal capitalist democracy, right? You have like factions are great. Let's have tons of factions all the time.
It's still not
You have to
working.
use,
Oh, okay. How are we earning health back? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
Do I have a badge I'm not aware of?
You might. you're gonna have to fly over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight all this shit because I want to be at a good level. I love Vi or V or whatever, but she just there's a lot of enemies she's just straight up not effective against at all.
You have to use your hurricane toss.
Yeah, whatever, just kill it. For
So,
Alpha. No.
of course, right in the Federalist Papers, it's argued that should have factions and lots of factions all the time, everywhere. Uh,
Yeah, because it divides the attentions of the underclass,
yeah,
I assume.
and the thing is right. So, like dealing with organizations, dealing with like smaller scale organizations, like in a personal level, right? Strong factionalism is almost always a terrible thing. That means something has gone terribly bad.
Yes.
Um, right. A great example of this is honestly just the DSA, right? Which follows the liberal tradition of encouraging factionalism.
Hmm.
So there's a fucking caucus for every goddamn thing, and they're always just fighting each other all the goddamn time over random bullshit that doesn't matter. And you'd think, well, okay, well, there's sure, there's conflict or whatnot, but at least, it makes, keeps people accountable. And the answer is no, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do that at all.
It doesn't. Sorry, you kind of doesn't do what?
Keep people
Oh,
accountable.
yeah, no, not at all. Damn it. Did I mess up a setting, or is this just a thing of the dead? Because all my controls are wrong.
Uh,
Like I'll show you. Frigid Coffin. Maybe I changed something in the setting because this isn't how Frigid Coffin works. Maybe it is how it works. It just doesn't feel right. There's something weird about some of this stuff.
I don't know, maybe it's being changed for just this area.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm just never paying attention to anything that's going on and it actually is all exactly the same way it was. That's entirely plausible. That's all normal anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's...
It's like a very gentle piano going on in the background. Come on, asshole. Restores 8 HP? I don't want it.
And fly over there.
Yep. I'm fucked. Yeah, come on, do it. Jerk ass.
I think, given the level layout, though, this might be one place where you don't actually just want to fight everything.
Maybe not. I'm gonna do as much as I can anyway. Um,
So, and then you have on small scale organizations, right? In my experience, it's always been the sign of something's wrong, right?
yeah.
Like would our college anime club have been better organized if there were strong, permanent factions within it?
Yeah, no, because it means people aren't on board with the, what's going on in the organization with the mission, right?
Yeah.
And you need a mechanism to resolve those differences, but factionalism is not it.
Yeah, and I think I think you do have like a valid concern of right? Instead of trying to resolve competing factions, uh, instead of trying to resolve, competing ideas of how the organization should work, right? That you simply just attenuate, people who object to what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
it's a great way to keep the upper class in power against a stronger and larger minor or majority.
yeah, but
Ah, come on.
just flee. You don't need to
Yeah.
body me. And then you have, what basis are the factions formed in like modern political society, right? And in America, at least, right, the answer is social wedge issues, and that's it. You're gonna need that rock for something.
I guess. Ooh, that's terrifying. What do I do with that?
Remember, your ice shield just protects you from everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I guess I had to do that first, huh? Okay. There we go. Do I gotta go over there? Okay, so that won't work the way the rock worked. Am I missing something? Oh, wait, maybe. There we go. Just fucking creepy. This place is creepifying.
I mean, the size of the, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm driving with the scale because the size of those coins would seem to suggest that you are really small bugs, actually.
Yes, quite tiny.
Like very
And
small,
yet,
even for a beetle and a moth and a bee.
I mean, like, so a CD would fit, according to the scale, I think, a CD would fit comfortably in this, like, divot here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's a moth. Leaf is a moth, and then yeah, I think, I don't know. I feel like Leaf should be among the smaller types here, but I don't know.
And remember, your shield protects you.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Apart from that. Oh. Okay. I gotta get up there to the mechanism, and I do that by going this way. So. Oh. Shit. I can't jump. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Go over there. Is that? Apparently, yes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Invisible wall. I assume this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've actually done quite a good job of generating this atmosphere here. Okay, so that wasn't at all necessary. What was that necessary for?
Maybe it was some optional thing.
Okay, I want to see. Go this way. And the thing shows up, and... What? 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 I was not supposed to go backwards, I guess. Oh. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, shit. Nope. There. And dare I figure out what that thing does?
Might as well, you saved.
It's true.
And it's strictly optional, so...
Corrupts your save file. Start over. Like, that would piss me off so much. Oh, it healed me. That's weird. Whoa, whoa, oh, what turns that thing on? Shit. No, 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 fuck you.
Now save.
Yeah, now save.
That's a really weird crystal to introduce, like, almost at the end of the game.
Yeah, I feel like I'd seen a red crystal before, but I don't remember where. I don't know, it doesn't seem to have done anything bad to me.
It restored all your HP and TPs, so...
Yeah, alright. A lot of negative space to... Oh, what?
How the hell did you get here? Kitty, are you ready to pretend like you're not being neglected?
It's a machine. It's just a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Nope. Nope. No, you don't. There you go. Yes. Fucking course we have. Okay.
Kick their asses.
Okay. What have I got? Is there anything here that ignores a point of anything?
I mean, Kabu's powers are generally pretty good at getting through defense.
Yeah.
If you do frost bowling, that would hit all of them.
Oh, true. Shit.
Blocking some
Should have
points.
grabbed. Yeah, I should have turned on some anti-poison badges or
Well, when
medals.
well when you die and you have to restart this, you can do that.
Yeah. All right, I don't seem to know how to block that one. Hmm.
Do ice fall and maybe hit a number of them.
What? Oh, I see. What? Oh, I
He's
see. It
dead.
died. Yeah. Hmm. Excuse me. Hell yeah. Hmm. Thinking. Mm, thinking hit points. That doesn't really track, but fine. Uh, any kind of healing here at all. Do I really have to go back? When do I level up?
Yeah, you're fully healed.
Hell yeah. Let's go talk to these people. Yeah, but like for them, like our like days are years to them. So who knows how old it really is?
Mm-hmm. Also, I talked to my the rest of the Sunday group a little bit about my two mega dungeon ideas.
Hmm.
Uh, they seem to like the idea of the sci-fi one a little bit more.
Was that the one with the old city that you go and explore?
Yes, I mean they're both
I really, I,
they both have an old city you go and explore. They're just like
yeah, I really think that they're not very different.
yeah,
I mean,
I agree, which is
yeah.
why it's like do I do a sci-fi version of it or like a fantasy version of it? And there's
Oh, I like the sci-fi version then, and that seems to be true when we're playing Blades of the Dark versus Scum and Villainy, as they seem to prefer Scum and Villainy.
Hmm. It does open some design limitations, though.
Well, the advantage is I mean, the big part is the setting, right? Scummability is much, much bigger. But yes.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, at a certain level, the difference between sci-fi and fantasy is just aesthetic.
I mean, I know, right? But it does create a certain different degree of, as I explained
Yeah.
before, right? There's a certain different audience expectation, regardless if that expectation is really a reasonable one or not.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to have like a sci-fi soundy explanation. That's all.
I mean,
Beyond that,
I've already thought of some cool ways of doing like undead type stuff.
yeah.
It's a flying enemy, that's why you can't hit it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I don't want to use my points right now, so there you go. Here's Vi. Fuck off, you little gremlin. One point, huh?
Yeah, I think these enemies are like I think you're a little bit on the higher level end actually. Like
Yeah.
I think like those enemies in the last one were supposed to be like crushingly difficult, and
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
these ones are meant to be more average. And then, you know,
Alright.
remember you can throw the ice
Up
cubes
here.
into the
Oh,
fountains
yes.
to
You're
make
correct.
platforms that raise and lower if need be.
Indeed.
Although you might just be using that ice cube to get onto that other ice cube that you can't move.
Yeah. Well, I can't get up. Oh. Do I need to get used to get up here and then B fly over there and then over here and then up onto the. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's it. You need to be about there, and you need to be pretty low, actually. Uh, that's good. Hopefully, that's good.
You let yourself drop a little bit, but
Yeah, I know. Okay, what do we got here? Probably a slidey puzzle. Where's the bit? Oh, there it is.
yeah.
Uh,
One thing I was
we
wondering
slide
though
it.
is whether or not to continue using the sort of Gamma World HP system or not, like
Mhm.
where you get one hit dice per point of Constitution, which is kind of a lot, but but also does
That's
get
more out of my wheelhouse.
yeah.
Oh, got it. And then I can go up there by doing this, that, and the other thing.
What?
Now, why did I do this?
I don't know. I think you might get
Oh, there's the bounce thing.
yeah. There's the bounce thing.
Well, the question is,
You can continue to move that big one around on the ground though.
yeah, I can. It's just, it goes here and oh wait, can I move this one onto it?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. I guess I gotta put it here. Does that make any damn sense? Is it far enough over? I don't think so. And here, maybe. Ooh, no, I'm there.
No, you use the ice block to block it in the right
Yeah,
spot.
I guess That's correct. The solution. It's very, very clunky.
I mean, it's the end of the game. This is clearly the part where they have the least opportunity to playtest stuff.
I guess so. And then okay. Make it, make it, make it, make it. Yes. Well, shit. I guess that was the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you.
So, sci-fi mega dungeon it is.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
In the world of Tharn. Which is a stream everybody should check out immediately if they're watching at this point. Let's be real, nobody is. Although we did get those random people watching last time.
We got tens of views.
It just reminds me of the Little Britain skits. Scotland's a tourist destination that sees literally tens of visitors every year.
The one I always remember from Little Britain is computer says no. It's David Walliams and can't remember the other guy's name. Oh fuck, he's one of these Friesens.
Get an overview of the room to see where you gotta move them.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is a lot.
This is a lot.
Okay, so you're gonna need to use the Friesum to get up on one of these water pillars.
I can't get him onto the. Okay, so that means he's got to be here, I guess. So I can get onto there.
Yeah.
And then. So that's like what this? Is that? All right, and then this little guy I'll have to slide around. Maybe he goes here. And then. God, I can't see a damn thing. These guys aren't really bouncing a whole lot. Maybe it doesn't really matter where they freeze. If I can get up onto one, I think I can just kind of jump around. Jump up, and get down. This is probably not at all what I'm supposed to do, but let's give it a shot. Wouldn't be the first time I've cheesed this game. Oh, B. B button.
You think you can make it up to that platform?
Up to here?
Yeah.
No.
Alright.
And I think that one's as high as it can go, so maybe I'm supposed to...
Alright, there you go.
Shit. Maybe I can just jump that. Puzzle platforming. Do I get high enough? No, I don't. Okay, jump! No, didn't make it. Okay, I think maybe that's in the wrong spot then.
I think
I what?
maybe you move from that smaller ice block to the upper platform in the back.
Oh, maybe.
Because it should put you in the right height.
Okay. Well, maybe I could have made that.
You can move the you can move it closer.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I gotta freeze that dude. And now over here, mayhaps? To what end?
Can you fly over into that soda can?
I think so. And then... Oh. And then I gotta do this?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? That definitely looks malleable. In some fashion. Oh, wait.
The lift, yeah.
That... Is that really the intended solution? That just seemed really silly.
I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, if that was intended, then there was a lot of red herrings to that puzzle.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh, more fighting.
Roaches?
Oh,
Aren't
we
you
thought you
guys?
guys all died.
Yeah, I thought you guys were extinct. Of course, the roaches live in the fucking house.
You look what? Oh, live in the house, yeah. He's a king. Maybe. Hmm.
I,
Pretty sure that's explicitly what she didn't want to do.
I have a feeling if it were you, your spirit would rise from the grave and be like, "No, that's not what I meant at all. Bring me back to life, you motherfucker."
Yeah, you remember the part when I said I wanted to be revived from my crystal slumber so I could rule forever? Like, what part of, oh, he wants to rest, and no. I will explicitly state, I do not want to rest. I want the sapling of everlasting life, please. Thank you.
Immortality is not a curse.
No.
I want it. Give it to me now. No exceptions.
Well, like, okay, seriously on that topic, though, people are like, what would you do? Wouldn't you get bored? No.
I think, I think you would. I think the only thing would be is you need an escape clause, right? Which is basically
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be stuck in the burning heart of a sun for eternity, right?
No.
So basically,
E-
it
e-
is you are immortal until you choose to die, right?
Yes.
Like okay,
Elective mortality is what
Yes.
I'm going for
yes,
here.
elective mortality, right? I can choose to die if I feel like it, and I have a feeling that I won't choose that unless something goes really terribly, terribly wrong.
Right. But, like, and then they're like, well, what about, growing old and watching all your loved ones die? Well, it's not magic. Whatever is done to me can be done to them.
Well, I mean, even if it is somehow magic or whatnot, it's like, well, you're gonna grow old and watch them die anyway. So like,
There is that, right? Like,
so,
that it sucks, but
and
still
again,
take
if you
it.
have an escape clause, right? If it turns out to be too terrible, right? Well, okay, well then, fuck it, right?
Right.
Change your mind down the line.
Yes. but no, and well, the worst one is like death gives life's meaning. Life meaning. Well, then no. I mean, life gives life meaning, right? Like I'll grant you, change gives life meaning, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to be sitting doing the same thing day in day out. That will suck all the joy out of life. But
Hmm.
like the one thing you can be guaranteed of in the universe is that for the most part it will change,
Hmm.
particularly in human societies.
Yeah.
Um, and I also wouldn't want a kind of immortality that like locked me into a specific physical form,
Hmm.
right? Like I would want to be able to, take advantage of any kind of cool morphological changes that occur down the line. But you know, again, it's not magic. These are all
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable things to expect.
Yeah. It just sounds. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just coping and seething, as the kids would say.
Well, it's I hate to borrow a phrase from um, certain parts of the internet, but it's deathism. It's this idea that it's the dragon tyrant. If it's inevitable, we might as well find meaning in it. But what if one day it weren't? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, what would happen to all the meaning of life? Well, I'm sure you'd find like it used to be the meaning of life
Well,
was staying on the farm and growing old doing that. Now it's not. So
I mean, if they could give at least like a clinical immortality vaccine, uh,
yeah,
right? An aging vaccine, right? It's like, would you sign up for it? It's like, fuck yes, I'd sign up for it.
so I would. Well, yeah,
In
that's the
fact,
thing. If we had a pill that made you immortal, then you would take it.
yeah,
Like the only people whose opinion I respect on stuff like that are like the Christian scientists who don't go to the doctor because dying is God's will. Like at least that's consistent, right? But like if you go to the doctor and eat healthy and exercise whatever and try to live a long life, then you wouldn't take it. That's silly. That's absolutely silly.
admittedly, I think that you would have to then discover some ways of changing morphologies of living persons in order to keep humanity competitively designed, because we no longer be using the whole life death cycle as an iteration process. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much we're doing that anyway, right? I mean, we have technology and we have science now. I don't think it's a big deal.
yeah. So, but I'm sure we'll figure that one out down the line if we can figure out anti-aging.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, start with that, and then we'll figure out the rest. Like, that's problem solving, right?
Yeah.
Every problem succeeds to another problem, and then you solve that forever,
Yeah.
right? And if you're smart, that's good, right? Hooray! We'll never be finished of problems to solve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to fight the roaches. Hooray, downtime. Wow, dude.
I've seen bigger roaches in real life.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
Oh, cool. Free in.
Free real estate.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe I'll go try watch it again. But the what is it? Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
Yeah.
I just it never clicked for me. Like I know Weird Al did some bits for it, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Just was never quite my thing. Hello. Okay. The constructs on. Ooh. Cool.
So you can go back and complete quests if you feel like it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. Yeah, I'm like the experimental entity that absorbed the knowledges of a dude, and now I'm him, sort of. I'm like, cool. What would this be? Transinsectianism? I don't know. Did I talk to you?
There's some bounce pads around.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that's progressing. This bounce pad over here just takes me back up there for reasons unknowable.
I don't know. I guess it's just a developer thing. You gotta let the player be able to go back if they need to.
Oh yeah. I don't need anything from that guy. All right, I guess that's it. I didn't talk to this dude. Nope, just you guys.
Now they're all dead.
They all died somehow. Did some horrible, definitely unethical experiments on fellow insects, and now they're dead.
We won't let you through, but thou must. But we won't let you through, but thou must. Us. We won't let you through, but thou must. Okay, I'll let you through.
Hmm. Wasn't that whole thing an optional side quest? What if I hadn't done it?
I don't know.
Maybe I'd just be stuck here.
Yeah, maybe you just stuck here and they're like, maybe we should learn more about Leaf's past before progressing.
Yeah. But they're explorers. That's what explorers do. If they didn't want to plunge into danger, they wouldn't be explorers. It's like when I was in college, I saw a talk given by somebody who claimed that telepresence robotics would be so good, no one would ever actually want to go to Mars, and I'm like, wrong.
No.
No, people will do it just because other people aren't doing it.
Also, there's a fundamental issue with the lag time.
Well, yeah, and I guess the argument was be like, oh, we'll go to Phobos and we'll be in orbit we'll be in orbit around Mars on Phobos and we'll do that. And I'm like, then just go to the surface.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Phobos already, it's to my understanding of how space works. It's not terribly much more fuel to just get to Mars.
Yeah. I mean, well, you have a base. You got to resupply the base. Every time you do it, send a little more piece of a lander, and do that. People will always do it because they want to do it. Why go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, in person?
I do find it funny that the moons of Mars are named Fear and Terror.
Yeah, Phobos and Deimos, yeah. Well, because Mars is, the god of war.
Yeah.
So. And what is all of Jupiter's moons are the names of his lovers, I think, other than Juno. There's no moon of Juno, which is why we sent a probe called Juno to Jupiter to go check on him. Okay. Yeah, but if there were no eternal sapling, nothing would really be different. People would find other obsessions to obsess over and other dangers to die at.
Also, it's not entirely clear whether or not bug civilization extends beyond this backyard.
Right. And they've made several references to this mysterious event that made a whole bunch of different kinds of bugs sapient. And who knows? Maybe the sapling is part of that. Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah. It's the tree of knowledge, good and evil. What would that be?
Yeah. Is Leaf Bug Jesus?
I mean, he didn't really die for anyone's sins. He just sort of died randomly in a in a hole in the ground and incidentally got resurrected for unrelated reasons.
Turns out that's the Jesus story. He was just basically Life of Brian.
Yeah, basically Life of Brian, and then like then like an alien experiment crawled off of one of their ships while they were probing some cows and fucking resurrected him, and then he and he was like, "Hey, bros, apostles, like I'm like an alien immortal thing now, I guess."
Yeah, well, I mean, they do say that Jesus ascended, bodily into heaven. What if he got on an alien spaceship and flew away?
That's actually one of the more interesting things about the Bible, which is that it doesn't seem to present the idea of spirits in any meaningful sense.
Yeah.
Like heaven is described as a literal place you will physically be in once your body is put back together.
I mean, what comes out of Judaism, and I think Judaism doesn't believe in like the good Jews will just be resurrected,
Yeah.
right? Like, as I understand it, like they don't go anywhere in the meantime. They just are dead, and then the Messiah will come, and they will become not dead anymore.
Yeah, and that's why you bury them instead of burning them, because you want the body to be easier to put back together.
Yeah, I mean, lots of Jews are buried in tombs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not buried; they're just entombed, above ground.
Yeah.
Religion is weird.
I wonder when that whole like notion of heaven and hell being like being like on, to put in D&D terms, which just comes from the religious thing anyway, right? To put up that they're like on different planes of existence, right? When did that become a thing?
How long ago was it that people like? I mean, is that like because of the rise of astronomy and cosmology and stuff like that? Like, how long ago did people think that yes, heaven was literally out there in space, right?
Yeah, I mean,
on the other side of the diamond firmament.
I mean, by the time of Dante's Divine Comedy, right? They clearly thought in a planar conception of.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Heaven and hell, right? Because, or at least a partially planar one, right? Because
when was that?
That would have been the Renaissance period, so like 1500, something like that.
Okay, so not quite Galileo.
Yeah, but because like for Dante to go to hell, he has to go like I mean it seems to be sort of on the border, right? Because like in order for Dante to go to hell, right, he has to go through a special portal.
Got it.
Right. And then he goes to hell, which doesn't seem to be literally below the ground, especially because it doesn't make spatial sense, because the way you get out of hell once you're in it is going through the bottom, which then sends you up.
Right.
Up to purgatory, and then you send through purgatory, and then to the celestial spheres. And then even like within the individual spheres or layers, they don't seem to be like definitive like geographic locations, right? But just like different like infinite expanses, if you will, right? So definitely by the time, so I'd say like by the time of the Divine Comedy, right, the notion of the afterlife being a planar, taking place on a different planar scape, has at least begun to take root.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
And then later on, once I think I indefinitely like once astronomy and geology really take off, right? Like the notion of like hell being literally below the ground, or heaven being literally in the sky, or the notion that the body would be, and eventually like the notion that like the body would be put back together for the kingdom of heaven and earth is sort of dropped, as some of those as those sort of adjacent ideas become very implausible. I don't know. It sort of gets into like how seriously did some of the ancients think this stuff was real or not, and how much they thought was even a metaphor. Because like clearly,
Right.
because like if you read Plato, right, he has certain opinions about the gods, and whatnot, where he feels that Homer's depiction of the gods is inaccurate, uh, and that they're less flawed and less human than are depicted in things like the Iliad and whatnot.
Um, and it's hard to tell sometimes because like it's amazing how much of like the idea that the devil is Satan is an angel, fallen angel named Lucifer. Isn't that just from Paradise Lost? It's basically just like Catholic fan fiction,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's amazing how much that comes up as like, yes, this is true. Like
I mean,
it wasn't true when it was written,
I mean, a
even in the
lot.
context.
A lot of the conception of these things is basically fanfic, right? Like the Divine Comedy was hugely influential on people's views
Mhm.
of heaven and hell and whatnot, and Dante just fucking made all that shit up, as far as anyone can tell.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, me and my favorite poet who totally thinks I'm cool took me around heaven and all that kind of shit. So
Took me around heaven and then hooked me up with this dead girl I was in love with,
yeah,
which is sort of creepy.
well,
um,
it's a fucking classic of Western literature. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it can also be a bit cringe posty, okay? Like,
I'm gonna go back in time and introduce them to them the notion of the cringe post.
look,
Totally.
there's a
History.
there's a non-zero chance, right, that like hundreds of years from now, something like Homestuck is going to be considered a fucking classical literature, and nobody's gonna pick up on the fact that maybe there's a little bit of cringe there too.
Yeah, maybe it's a pastiche of internet culture from the early days of the internet. Like I mean, remember when like making fun of juggalos was this huge thing,
Yeah,
right? Like, and I never hear about that anymore.
yeah.
And so, I mean, it's just I don't know. That's why I want to live a very long time and be like pop up like 10,000 years from now and be like, "What's up, bros? Ask me anything about the early days of fucking YTMND." And then nobody will understand me because I went off somewhere and the language evolved. But that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was really easy to overturn this, elderly person's lifelong held worldview.
Sure, it's convenient for the story.
Yeah, it is.
As I told you, thou must.
Yes, but thou must. Yeah, exactly. We'll find something else to do.
After I read the very disappointing Mega Dungeon High Fell by Greg Gillespie, is the same writer of Barrow Maze and Caves of Archaea. So in High Fell, right, so like the premise is it's this mega dungeon where it's this floating island covered in like wizard towers, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like this is like such a great fucking premise for like an adventure or mega dungeon or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And he just does fuck all with it, right? And it's incredibly disappointing. So ever since I read it, I've had sort of this sort of nagging idea in the back of my mind of basically just doing the idea way better.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of like, you get an idea and it's like it's just an idea somebody else has done, but they did it wrong.
Yeah,
They
did
didn't
it
explore this well enough. I want to try it differently.
Yeah. And I was thinking of like having like an all wizard party go on an adventure across an island covered with wizard towers and strange natives, and all that sort of stuff. And I've been sort of compiling different ideas. Oh, look, fire guys. Wouldn't it be great if
Oh,
we
yeah.
had an ice mage around?
Is it? Oh, is your weakness ice? I would have never fucking guessed.
Sometimes it can be kind of random. like in I think it's like in Pokemon, right, where ice is weak to fire because like ice is melted by fire,
Right?
but fire is also weak to water. I'm not going to pretend to fully understand the rationale behind the type chart in Pokemon.
That's probably wise. I don't want to use any of my points because I'm clearly about to get into a big ass boss fight, but I guess I will.
They're going to replenish you points right before you get to the final
I hope
boss.
so.
Just do a basic like ice fall attack.
Yeah. Was not prepared for that. It made my arm hurt.
Yeah, so I was thinking of having like an all wizard party, right? And I've been sort of procuring interesting subsystems to sort of like expand out the spell casting system in like classic D&D to make it, sort of substantive enough to support like everyone playing a wizard, right?
Mm.
And one of my ideas actually was that like one of the core problems with the wizards, right, is that they're sort of a glass cannon, right? So
Right.
they have lots of power. They're very they have a lot of offensive power, but they sort of melt if you get into melee with them.
Yep.
So I was thinking of introducing basically a golem construction system, right? So your character can like build a golem to be your meat shield or clay shield, as the case might be. I do cool stuff like that. Maybe recruit some hapless goons to be a screening force as well. I don't know. Does that sound like vaguely interesting stuff? Crazy wizard towers,
Yeah.
random nonsense on the fantasy island.
You could also do things like spells to make yourself stronger and stuff like that. So they become less glass cannony, but they also have to use spells to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. So don't pad.
Yeah, we're just gonna have like 20 battles with basic monsters in a row.
That's not going to get me annoying at all.
What do you think of Lilliputian sort of stories like Bug Fables or like games like I don't know, you're probably less aware of it, but like Mausrita, which is like an RPG where you play like little mice guys.
I know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see the world from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I grew up with like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, so I'm familiar with the premise. So I don't know how much more there is to say about it.
Other than
and you can do
neat.
Yeah, other than it's neat. I mean, so if you watch like A Bug's Life or something like that, like pulling like the social dynamics of insects up and showing them as like human in the human context, that's pretty interesting. I think you can do a lot with that, but I just don't know how much room there is. Then there, like, I mean, you can get really deep with it and get into like Ant-Man territory. But I frankly, I think they've kind of exhausted that well, perhaps even more so. I don't know. I don't know what the next frontier of literature will be.
Probably something on TikTok.
Do not speak this evil into existence.
Like one sort of Lilliputian property that I was fond of as a kid, but
Go to your nap.
was the Army Men series, actually, of games.
Yeah. I never played them, but I'm aware of them.
I mean, it's sort of a cool. I mean, it's sort of a neat premise, right? And a premise that actually originally arose from censorship.
Oh yeah, you can't show blood and violence, whatever.
Yeah, it was a German censor actually, where Germany has very strict censorship laws on video games, so you can't like. I think they've gotten a little bit lighter over time, but like at the time at least, right? It was like you can't show blood or violence. You can't show blood or like violence between real persons. And they're like, well, what if we just like rethemed it around being like little plastic army men? And then they're like, actually, that's a way better idea than our original idea.
So it's just cooler.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it died off with 3DO as a company, which had like 2 good game series.
What was the other one? It does sound familiar.
Battle Tanks.
Oh.
The most, which is a very over the top sort of. They only had like 2 major games. Right? The first one was Battle Tanks, and spelled with an X at the end instead of a K, because it was the
Actually,
90s.
No. Okay. Where is the thing that... Do I just not have it as like an item? Oh no, it's up there in the top right. Got it. Don't feel like it.
Just use your shield.
Come on. Yeah. Fuck off. Oh, shit.
Yeah, try not to fall off the planet. But just I don't know. There's a. I always thought it might be fun to do the sort of like an army men like TTRPG thing as like a one shot or like a short campaign or something.
This is just a level beyond.
So that's
Okay.
part 1 of a 2-part puzzle.
I guess. No, did that. Fuck. Come on.
I'll just kick their ass.
Fine.
Basic Icefall should do it.
Well, that was nonsense.
Needle Toss I don't think is a very good attack.
No.
Then dash through. And I think you can always go back to the Roach Town to get full healed.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to. Just take a nap while all this is going on.
Yeah. Oh, cool epic battle stuff going on. Anyway, I'm gonna snooze.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, take that sort of
Yeah, that side path, I guess.
yeah.
A little bit of ludonarrative dissonance there. Would have made more sense if they had like, yeah, we're going to use our magic roach thing to heal you right up.
Or they could just have the plant thing.
Yeah, or the plant thing. Sorry, guys, just had to take a little quick nap. I'm gonna take a little breather.
Yeah, so jump on there and then use
Here, no.
no, just straight across the feet, probably.
Oh, yeah, all right. All right, fuck it. Ah, shit. Hit it too early. Oh, didn't manage to do that. Oh, it just died. Cool. What? What's the? I don't want that. Ooh. Come on. Oh, that just doesn't work. Okay, got it. Ugh. Now, come on. Did better than that.
Then you just do a dash through. Assuming you have any actions left.
Going back and forth like that over the A button really makes that a lot easier.
Oh, using the technique I told you about?
Yeah. Uh,
Hit the guy in the front.
Okay, Leif.
Probably gonna.
You know what you... Yeah.
Probably gonna want to go back and heal now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nope. Fuck you. Go take that up. Be right back. That doesn't make any sense. How could he... Ugh, it's wood. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also to update you on Tharn, since you're not going to watch the session
Yeah.
stream. Uh, the party managed to complete their ordeal in the sunken ruin. They came back and they got you, so you're no
Good.
longer being held hostage.
Excellent.
They got you a cool new semi-automatic pistol.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm
Uh,
into that.
it's kind of shit though. It's inaccurate specifically, but you know, it's got a nice magazine size.
Fuck.
Also, they did some shopping in the at the flea market on Garbage Island. And you gotta.
Mhm.
They did buy you some stuff from the party treasury, including a vinewood sap mask, which helps protect from poisonous gases, and
Well, that was nice of them.
and a pair of mirror shades,
Oh, hell yeah.
which are theoretically helpful in some unlikely circumstances. But was there anything else you think you'd have wanted to pick up, like some cool new plastic armor?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but I'm basically okay with cool shades and a new gun. Oh, right. God.
Do you have like any anti-fire badges?
I don't think so.
Because they get you like dick all for XP anyway.
And yet I'm not strong enough to just defeat them.
I mean, clearly I mean, obviously, right? You have some difficulty with them. Like,
I mean, if it was just sort of I could walk right over them, it wouldn't be much of an end stage fight, but
yeah.
let's see. I think I can make a better... Ooh.
So it's just looking at all your equipped stuff.
Yeah, I know. What was the big one I maybe didn't actually need? Antlion Jaws. It's a lot just for plus to ignore. I mean, yes, okay, you ignore 1 point of resistance, but it's not really doing me a whole lot of good. Let's see. Could do that one. That might help. TP coin with 2 turns.
That's
That's
nice.
pretty good. That is nice.
It's effectively 1 TP a turn.
I don't get that. Anything else good for one? Something back. Oh, I took off back support. That explains something. But I don't know.
Well, you
Whatever.
can
I'm
put
going this
sleep
way.
resist. You're not going to go to the jump pad over there?
No, I want to heal.
Alright.
Sleep resist. I mean, why not? The enemies don't respawn. I'm choosing the game. Oh, I should. Come on. Come on. Hoping if I can get to another level, it'll just make it easy for me to just beat these dudes.
So clearly you have to platform up to get to the button on the top left over there.
Yeah. Hmm. Here? Okay. No, come back. I want to move it a little bit better. Wait, maybe I can. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Shit.
Because you want to put the ice cube on the button up there.
Oh, it's a button. Got it.
Yeah, the button is in fact a button.
And button. Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
There you go.
I think I might have needed to freeze that dude. Wait.
You need to get something. Yeah, there's the other one.
Okay.
So you're gonna need to stand on that platform on the right, and then throw a beam array.
Oh, I guess I could just jump onto there.
Yeah, you should be able to with. There you go.
Pop.
Fly over there. And fly to the left.
Fly to the left. Crisscross. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of thinking of scum and villainy, actually, there's this RPG, tabletop RPG. I told you about it, but I think before, called Patrol. And the base game is basically you're a U.S. patrol in Vietnam, and it's a nightmare, and you die all the time. But
Okay.
So firstly, but the creator has also made two interesting alternate sort of mods for the game. Right, one is playing trench raiders in World War I.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yes, and the other one is actually playing just random grunts in the universe of Star Wars.
Yes.
I don't know. It might be fun sometime to take you through the incredibly detailed simulation of dying horribly as one of those extras in the Star Wars.
As long as character creation is quick. It's nothing worse than dying a lot in a game with a complex character creation.
I'd provide you with pre-gens. If I were to do such a thing.
I was talking to someone the other day who was like, I really want to play Eclipse Phase, and I'm like, I'd love to play a good version of Eclipse Phase. It's like where the character creation isn't really complicated, and then if you die, well, there goes your body that you spent all this time on.
Also, if the authors had a slightly stronger understanding of politics,
That would be nice. Definitely would help smooth out some of the extremely rough edges in the flavor, but
yeah.
I mean,
but mechanically, it's just that Ziba shoe video, right? It's
yes.
this is some failed novelist's microfiction.
I'm beginning to think that a lot of RPG books are like that.
Yes.
There's just a huge amount of, I don't know, like you take Blades in the Dark, and now granted, I love the system, and I like this setting and all that kind of stuff, but like some of the settings are like setting pieces are like really detailed, and some of them are just like, oh, we left it vague, so you can fill in your own blanks, and I'm like, no. Just keep it all vague. You know, I'm capable of, especially in a system like that, where it's very improv heavy, like, I'm capable of telling a story in this setting with, just enough text. Slimmer is usually better in those kinds of contexts.
The final battle?
I guess. I don't know what the mask does for him. Trail of beating you up.
Trail of Beatings is the name of my new ska punk band.
There was a time. Ska punk will return. I don't think it ever truly died. No one cared about me until I put on the crown. Great. Thanks, Batman.
You weren't born with the divine right.
Damn. Parry this, you crook. It's a badass line.
Yes, the fire badge, which just protected you.
Yeah. It had narrative function, not mechanical function. Char's counterattack. Okay.
Spy, because that carries over if you have to redo the fight.
Yep. I just want to put Kabu in front. Oof. Luce doesn't have any defense. Okay.
Time to go all out, baby.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
You can do Frozen Drill and,
I'm thinking Frozen Drill, probably.
yeah. Oh, and it froze him. That's great.
Nice!
He's probably going to have a second form, so be prepared for that. But
Yeah.
denying him actions is good. So start with... you don't need any healing. So,
Yeah, I don't need any right now.
So
Gonna...
probably hit him with a tornado toss.
You think?
Might as well.
All right. Ooh, I like this.
I mean, stun locking your enemies is always great. Getting
Well,
stun
they do
locked
it.
sucks, though.
Oh no, it's horrible. Getting stun locked is the worst. Stun locking is amazing. Okay, hold on. Frozen Drill is 8, so I'm just gonna do a regular attack with Vi. Oh,
But hey, you got through most of his health without him.
you fucking did. Although he's gonna attack twice now, but that's okay. All right. Who needs it? Leaf
Leaf.
needs it, and we get points back, and we can do Frozen Drill twice now. That's good. Let's do it. Uh,
Heal
to
V.
Vi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Frozen Drill. Oh shit. Huh. Okay.
Definitely continue to heal up.
Yeah.
And then do just enough to drop him.
What do you think?
He's gonna have a
Frozen.
phase 2.
Yeah. I think I can do 6 damage between the two of them. We'll see. All right.
I was gonna suggest Frisian Coffin, but okay.
Unfortunately, the blowback from that badge I have can't deal the last HP of damage.
Before attacking him, right, use Leaf and V to heal yourself.
Okay. And I'll do Leaf. He's got less far to go. And he's gonna summon the sapling and do some shit. Plebeians. Oh, I reflexively tried to block that.
Turns out the key's a key.
Yeah. The true sapling was the friends we made along the way. Hmm. That's healthy. That turned him into a horrible mutant. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
You will have not a queen, but a queen more powerful and beautiful and blah 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 whatever. Courtesy of Grubhub.
Cube.
Oh, I'm all full back up again.
Well, that's
Awesome.
good. Well,
Uh,
let's see
put
if
Cabo in
you're.
front again.
Let's see if that attack can even hit him.
The drill
Yeah, let's see if the drill can.
and spy on him first. Okay. Oh, so he was gonna summon some shit. Um, no. Fly drop works though. I guess I'll try it. But I gotta keep pushing the button. And he falls down. That's good. Which means now I can do frozen drill.
Well, that's not good.
No.
Doesn't mean you have to max damage though.
Yeah.
Frozen drill.
All right.
Frozen.
Yeah, I guess.
And just
I can
hit,
heal a little.
Just hit him for now.
What?
Probably.
Okay. Mm,
Throw that beamerang.
yeah, I guess I gotta.
And then,
So, am I missing something about what happened to Kabu? Why he can't fight?
you keep, you keep taking up his turn.
Oh, with the drill.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, fuck you. Oh, maximum fuck you. Oh, God, that's annoying. Alright, well, he's on the ground, so I'm gonna heal. Heal Leaf, and get some TP back. Okay, good. Now I can do it twice, except I used up his turn, so that's fine. Frozen Drill. Uh,
Keep healing, keep drilling.
yep. Let's do Vi. No. Stack damage on douchebag plant face there. Oh, I'm one short. Alright, what can I do?
Could do Icefall and potentially hit them both.
You know, would it be better to give up his turn to Vi and try and do fly drop? I think fly drop is only 6.
Yeah, you can do fly drop.
Yeah. There we go. Now, come on, I definitely blocked that one. Alright, heal Vi. No, I want to heal, I want to use somebody else to heal. Because, I won't have enough to do the drill, so I'll have to use fly drop. And, yeah, we're gonna heal Vi. Ooh, 8. That's good. Ah, come on. Delay on that's really weird. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Okay. Leaf.
Fly drop.
Yep. Ah, shit. Damn it! My thumb slipped. It sucks that you don't get something out of that. Okay. It's a good thing I equipped that TP renewing one.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think I have anything I can do. Nope. Some damage is better than no damage.
Do you have any healing items left?
I got one. Alright, who needs it? Vi needs it still. Now I'm going to do one more drill. But actually, I want to use him to do it. No, it'll take up Kabu's turn. We'll see how it goes.
Target the key pieces.
Really?
Give it a try. I don't know.
I mean, if I screw up, that's it. I really won't have any action economy left.
I mean,
I don't.
you're out of TP, so you're not going to be able to outdamage. You're not going to be able to outpace the.
True. All right, give it a shot. Bong. That would be a very satisfying sound.
And then turn.
I don't think I could. Yeah.
First. And then just do standard attacks on that key until it.
Boing. I really like that sound effect. It's a really nice sound effect. Wait, decker changes satisfied for one. Turn relay Vi. Nope. It did nothing, but that's fine. Maybe not the best strategy ever, but it's great. Oh. Uh, okay. Um, no. Cool. That was a waste. Um, yeah, just undid literally everything I did in the last couple of rounds. Um, mm, mm, do that the other way around. Um, okay, hit him, hit goes up, then Vi to bring him down again, then hit him with the ice. Mm, great. Come on. Well, that's it. Well, there's literally nothing I can do. Oh, and targeting the keys apparently did nothing.
Yep.
Uh
So, I looked up a strategy,
huh.
and basically you're going to need to respec your party and do a bunch of other shit. I think, I get the feeling we're sort of running ragged on Bug Fables right now. That it's, like,
It's
it should have stopped, like, 3 hours ago.
it's a little draggy at this part.
Yeah.
Like having the boss heal almost all of his health twice is too much. Like after the first time, when it comes time to do it again, there should be
Oh,
some kind of like,
he did it 3 times, right?
yeah, but like, one or two times into it, it should be like, oh no, the wilted everlasting sapling is actually doing blah blah blah, and then it makes it easier, right? I mean, it's just particularly because like, okay, yes, they give you your TP back and your health back, and that's good between the boss forms, but they don't give you any of your items back.
Yeah.
And you just had to fight this big, huge, all the way up from. I guess I could go back to the Bug Village, go all the way down the elevator, go all the way back to where I was before with the cook, and do all that shit again. That's just it shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah. So, do you want to... So, I want to play a game next week. So...
You want to play a soon? What do you want to try one more time, or what do you say? Or just do a different game next week and then come back to this after that?
I mean... we have options, right? So, we could just say we put our best try and we just really don't feel like doing the grind, so we're just going to look up the ending. Which is somewhat unsatisfying, but at least you're not going to have to spend another fucking hour just to beat this one boss.
Yeah.
Is that really worth your time in life? Two, we can just alternate to the game next week and then come back to this later, or you could beat this off screen, or
Why don't you send me the respec thing? I'll do the respec off screen, and then next week we can do your thing, and then if it makes sense, we can come back to it, or I can just do it off screen if I just happen to beat the boss.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're done for now, though.
Probably reload last save and then quit out.
Yeah, what's my inventory look like? Yeah, pretty good.
Alright. Any parting words for the streaming audience other than the boss other than this game probably should have ended a bit earlier than it has?
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't, like, the whole run up to the final boss shouldn't have happened, I think. I think it's just kind of a grind.
Because it's the second run up, right? You have the whole fortress thing with all the bridges, right? Then you get in, and then you have another whole run through all the way up to the Roach Village, and then you get to the Roach Village, and then you have a whole nother run up through the fiery bullshit.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to pad, particularly because granted, we played it in one shot this time, but the previous boss was pretty tough the first time.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that definitely needed to be rebalanced, I think. But anyway, David Fincher is wrong if that's indeed what he said, and so we, fuck the Hollywood corporocrats.
Fuck the suits. That's our
That's right.
message.
That's right.
Let's end this one.